Hello Moon Children, I hope everyone is doing amazing. I wanted to continue my IBOGA series as I'm now 8 weeks post my ceremonies, and I posted this piece of content that went absolutely bonkers online. Seems like so many people are interested in this healing, and I'm actually really excited to talk to you guys about the integration, because I was getting all of these questions saying, well, is it gonna last? Does it last? And as I'm trying to find this information about integration, as I'm going through it myself, there really isn't a lot of information about integration. So I'm like really happy to make these videos, because this is not something that is widely talked about. And I did not experience the root bark version of it. I experienced the synthesized ibogaine, but regardless, I feel really close to this plant. It's such a special plant. I saw this video from a Bwiti elder where the Bwiti people and the Gabonese people are kind of upset because this medicine is getting westernized, and now they're starting to do all these clinical trials because it helps so well with addiction and mental health disorders. And the Gabonese people and the Bwiti people feel like the plant should always be introduced while honoring the guardians, the people of this plant, which are the Gabonese in Africa and the Bwiti. So I want to take a moment to just highlight that, send a blessing to these people that have been the guardians and the communicators with the plant, and that ultimately have introduced it to the Western world. So thank you, Bwiti. But yeah, I want to start by saying that IBOGA is not like other plant medicines. Like, you can go do mushrooms over the weekend, or obviously not ayahuasca or some more hardcore, IBOGA level plant medicines. I mean, I don't think anyone is really on the IBOGA level. I personally think he's the most powerful, but having some mild experiences with other plants too, nothing could have prepared me for IBOGA. And not just the ceremony, but also the integration, because I'm starting to realize that doing IBOGA is not like a weekend thing that you do. It kind of will change you forever, and it keeps working with you after the ceremony is over. I'm now 8 weeks post ceremony, and the plant is intensely working with me, and not all of it is pleasant. So I want to say that even though in the beginning it feels like IBOGA is just like this magic thing that you experience, and it like strips you from your trauma and from your stuff and from all the layers, and you actually get to see who your soul is underneath it all. So in the beginning it feels like, oh, it's done, you're kind of cured, like you're good. And in so many ways you are. It does create that instant change as well. But the truth is, it's not a magic pill. And basically, when you enter ceremony, you enter communion with the plant, is you enter an agreement with the plant, and it will do its part of the work. And then you're gonna have to go and do your part of the work after the ceremony. So I'm gonna go through all the different phases that I've gone through with this journey now in the 8 weeks, starting from the ceremony. So the first week or two, you're in this phase called kind of the afterglow, and you just feel profoundly enlightened. You feel, or at least I felt, like I had just gotten myself back. I had gotten my life back. I had no cravings for substances that I previously enjoyed, including coffee, strangely. All I wanted to do was just like eat fruit and just like cold, refreshing things, like very healthy, fresh things. And I felt like my psychic senses were open. I felt completely invisible. I felt the plant, like there is a special way that the plant communicates with me in my body. I felt the plant all the time in communication with me. I felt kind of invisible in the world. I felt like grandfather IBOGA was with me, and I'm like finally safe to move around in the world because IBOGA will let nothing bad happen to me. And after my ceremony, I didn't fly straight back home to Estonia. I went to my house in Tulum, Mexico, where I spent another week. And I'm so glad that I did that, because it's so important to have that like soft space to land. The energy is kind of like all over the place. There's so much energy coming through, like so much light coming through. It's just surging. And I would notice that I just want to like give and connect. And then at some point I'd be like, out of energy. So it's like the energy is like very sporadic. The sleep is very sporadic. The sleep is kind of disrupted for a while. And sometimes you just be like awake and then you'd be just like sleeping a lot and like very vivid dreams. Overall, you just feel super connected, like the psychic awareness is off the charts. I started communicating with the land spirits of Mexico, getting this call to connect with the goddess of the ocean, Ixchel, there. So I went to the Mayan ruins and I was just felt guided to do this ceremony there where I would, talk to them about Iboga, this plant that is on your land and that is doing this amazing work of healing in your land, how significant it's gonna be in the evolution of humanity and everything, and giving offerings. And it was all very just like intuitively guided, and I never had an experience like this before. So I started kind of having these like supernatural experiences, feeling very, very real, of course. And I'd find myself thinking and even asking my partner, like, is this how people without trauma feel like in the world? Just like happy to be in the world and so excited and grateful for their life and just excited to connect with other people. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, wow, I did not realize that I didn't realize this was possible. I never experienced this. My whole life I've like carried this heaviness with me. So I feel like in the afterglow and in the ceremony, I got to actually really experience my true self, like my true soul. And I saw like how beautiful that was, and kind of had that understanding of how much that is our birthright in the world, and how much the world fucks us up and the trauma fucks us up, and how beautiful we really all are. And also freshly connected with my life purpose and just so at ease, so relaxed, so divinely guided. I even had like a week after, when I flew back to Estonia, like in the airport, they wanted to charge me for my lots of bags, and something happened in the system where like their system didn't work. So I got the bags for free and I got VIP escorted through the airport, and just everything like very aligned, which was an amazing experience to just be in that full flow state where synchronicities are just happening, magic is just happening. And I guess the keywords for that afterglow phase would be just amazing connection to my true self, absolute safety in the world, like incredible safety and connectedness, and also a complete absence of craving for any type of unhealthy or addictive substance. And also that first week I was intuitively doing healing on some other people around me, because I had been gifted this unicorn shaker, this unicorn puiri, and I intuitively felt guided to heal with it when somebody had an energetic blockage. So yeah, it was an incredibly connected time. And then I got back to Estonia, and then I felt like a different phase for me started. And after doing some research, I'm realizing that the second phase is called the ashes. It's like the fire has now burnt out. You went through the fire of the ceremony and now you're in the ashes. And the medicine goes more quiet. It's not that present anymore. And now these super duper connected moments started varying with this like emotional flatness and dullness, like almost like nothing. And just being like very tired. And I got this urge to like deep clean my house like never before. Basically, I cleaned my house for like a month. I set up 2 living and workspaces for myself, and I just felt this deep need to go over every nook and cranny, like get rid of a bunch of stuff, deep clean everything, really rethink what I want around, what I don't want around, like only keep my favorite clothes, only keep my favorite things. And really like nesting and setting up this very comfortable space for my healing to continue. I didn't know what I was really doing. I was just following my intuition. But yeah, I felt a deep need to clean. And also I developed this survival hunger. Like not just like I'm hungry. I'm like, I need to eat now. Like I need to eat now. And not just any type of food, but very healthy, grounding, organic, warm foods, lots of protein, lots of fat, lots of just warm stews and stuff, and I would just be constantly hungry. I never felt hunger like this before. So I'm gonna read you now the scientific explanation of that is. Iboga is known to have a profound effect on the nervous system. It helps reset and rebuild neuroreceptors, which can help with breaking old patterns and restoring balance. It can also promote neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reorganize itself. Not can, but it creates neuroplasticity for like 3 months in your brain. So that deep hunger and those intense feelings can be part of your body literally rebuilding and rebalancing itself, which is I felt like I was rebuilding myself and my life, like my body, myself was being rebuilt. And I got really obsessed with getting all the right supplements so that I'm taking all my vitamins, omegas, like organ meats, just nourishment. So I would call that phase, like 2 weeks to a month and a half, I would call that phase for myself a grounding and building phase. So it was very much about the root chakra, giving myself the safe space, giving my body the nourishment, very, very practical. Meanwhile, I developed a deep sense of closeness with the land around me, like my forests. And I've been living in the forest for about maybe 10 years now, and I've always been extremely close to the forest. I've always had my favorite plants here that I talk to and I guess low-key work with. But now I felt like my senses, my psychic senses, my witchy vibes were getting off the charts, where I realized that literally every tree is a person, every plant is a person, and I developed even a deeper connection with the nature than I have so far. And I also had a deep realization of my path when it comes to moving here to the nature and kind of quitting my life in LA, quitting businesses, quitting people, relationships that were toxic and not good for my soul. And the last 9 years, because I've been in my numerological 9-year cycle, I'm actually in my year 9 right now. This 9 years, I haven't really been able to put my finger on what this 9 years has been about for me, because the stripping of the layers has kind of been like very slow. And now that I came to Iboga, I realized that this 9 years has been a preparation for me to meet this medicine. And I've been just stripping away the layers of what's not real for me, what's not actually me. Within this 9 years, I stopped consuming media, I stopped wearing makeup, I'm more and more all about natural fabrics, natural products. I try to eat all organic. I pretty much make all my food. I grow some food. I want to grow even more food. I wash myself in rainwater or in my pond. I'm pretty much off the grid. I have some basic weak electricity, but that's the only thing that I'm connected with when it comes to the grid. And I see how I've actually just been cleansing myself and my soul and my body to be ready to receive this medicine. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I had a profound realization of that.